Alright, I'm Sam here tonight for Scorpio Reviews with the Xcerts playing in the rescue rooms. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Sure, I'm Murray. I sing and play guitar.
Tom, I play drums.
Alright, just got a fair few questions for you tonight, just to get you ready for the gig tonight.
Cool.
Sure.
So, just going to start off. I know you're not all from LD, but what was it like actually starting out over there? Is it a good atmosphere, good social life to get things kicked off?
Yeah, definitely. There's a really strong kind of local scene that kind of gets overlooked just purely because it's in the northeast of Scotland. But yeah, everyone was really supportive. It was a really there was a real strong community kind of like vibe about it.
Was there a good mix of other groups like yourself coming out at the same time, lots of people to talk with, play with at the same time?
Yeah, there was tons, yeah. And there still is, but yeah, especially like because we were so young, there was a lot of kind of guys that we respected.
Is there anything you can still remember that you've worked with quite a few times, really got to really like?
Worked with, sorry. I mean, we used to admire a band called Liberate.
Okay.
Who were like the local kind of heroes. And like Chris, the singer, is now like one of my best friends. And
They still go?
No, they stopped. He's been in kind of various forms of like bands. He's been in a few bands since then, and now he's started something else up. But yeah, so I mean, like, and other people have stuck with us. Like we've got a friend who used to play in this terrible pop punk band.
What was they called?
You'll feel they were called Point of Origin. So in short, it was poo.
Excellent.
That was Jamesy, and now he's doing really well down in London, managing bands and stuff like that. And there's like every time we go back home and play a hometown show, there's so many old faces from back in the day. So yeah,
still get good support.
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I know you started off in the school as the Xcerts, but were there any other bands before that? Or was this your first major one, stuck with it the whole way through?
Tom was in a couple of...
Well, I joined 5 or 6 years ago, so like...
From Bristol, isn't it?
No, Exeter.
Oh, Exeter, sorry.
But, so I've been in bands since I was like 12, 13, so a lot of bands from down south, various things, pop punk, indie, like, as a, like fast punk bands, but then nothing really to speak of.
So how did you actually join up with the Xcerts then?
Like we moved to Brighton because our original drummer was living in London at the time.
Okay.
Like a few years back now, and then he decided to leave to pursue kind of university, and Tom was living with a mutual friend of ours from Scotland.
So that's a happy coincidence.
Yeah.
But he was always telling me about this band, the Xcerts, he was friends with us and stuff, and then they moved down and kind of just became friends.
Joined up at all?
Yeah, I watched the Xcerts a few times, like became friends with them through our mutual friend, and then like a year later I joined, I think.
Yeah.
That's history.
Okay, so go for it really, really far back now. What is the very first CD or cassette you ever bought? Is it going to be embarrassing?
I think my first tape was like Kinky Boots. And I can't remember what the act is called. And I had a really big thing for like PJ and Duncan.
I think first tape I bought was alright. It was Basket Case, the single by Green Day, just like double A side, and then the first CD was Ace of Base, so kind of count as it.
Still good. Okay, so your last album, Shikari, you worked with Mike Sapone, did I say that right?
Yeah,
really
Mike Sapone, yeah.
Fantastic. How did you find him to work with?
Amazing. It's kind of a dream come true.
So there was no conflict at all, it was all completely plain sailing?
I mean, at the very beginning, I think he may have had a slight different idea. I think he kind of wanted to do like a psychedelic thing with us. We were like, no, we're a rock band. Just to kind of, he knew we were a rock band, but yeah, he wanted to try this thing, and we were like, no,
just trying to mess with your head.
Yeah, and we were kind of like, oh, we've kind of got this vision for it, and then when he was like, oh yeah, we were all on the same page from there on. But yeah, it was amazing. He's such like a forward-thinking producer, and
So are you going to try and work with them again in the future?
Yeah, I think I mean we'd love to.
Yeah.
We definitely want like a different sound for our next record, but if we can get out there, we would do it in a flash. Yeah.
Going from that, you say before the last couple of albums you've moved in very different ways. Then have you had any thoughts about where you're going to move from the next one? Still
formulating, still writing,
yeah.
like force anything really.
It's just something huge.
Something epic.
yeah. I don't know. Just let nature take its course, keep everything natural, and yeah, I don't know. We don't want to kind of sit down and be like, we need to do this, we need to do that. But I think there will be there will kind of be one song that we'll write in the not too distant future, and then it'll be like, okay, that kind of opens the door, and that's where we're gonna go. Yeah.
So is it more sort of when you're on tour, you're thinking, occasionally write down after a certain gig or something, you're thinking, that's a great idea for a set of chords, great idea for some lyrics, and sit down in the bus, or do you set time out for it at all?
Sometimes do a bit in the sound check if I've got time, kind of run over things. But
is it sort of a jam session?
It's a bit more 70s.
Back to psychedelic.
Yeah, but it's tough when you're on the road because like the next band that we wait and sound check and then we feel a bit rushed, and it's just, I don't think it's the best environment to write. I don't think you usually hear about bands who've written a record on tour and it sounds fucking awful. So,
like they've done it in the back of the van with an acoustic guitar.
That was the record.
Great.
Just got the heads.
Yeah. So like usually it'll just kind of be like in the practice room where we've got like days to work on stuff, or if I'm at home I'll come up with like an initial idea and then bring it in for the guys. So
are you the main focus point for the writing, or is it sort of more group things? Someone comes with an idea, pitch it to the rest of them. How does it work?
I mean, I guess sometimes I'll make the blueprint for a song, and then like I'll take it to the guys, they'll tell me what bits are shit and which bits are good, and then we'll all work on it from there. And then there's other times we'll be in the practice room and Tom will come up with a beat, or Joe will play a bass line, and we'll just work around that.
Yes.
No real formula.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, I think so, yeah, definitely.
Okay, we're going to go for another one. If you could remove one artist or band from all musical history, who would it be? And I want to know why as well.
That's a good question.
That's a brilliant question. Of all time.
Of all time. Anyone.
I mean, because there's so many bands nowadays that I want rid of, but I know that they'll be gone pretty soon. There's so many flash in the pan. Probably shouldn't say.
Go on. We're all friends here.
Bands I really dislike right now.
I can't get, when you ask me that, the first thing I think of, which I don't necessarily think they should be obliterated maybe, but that song by, is it Peter Paul Bjorn or whatever it is, that whistling, it's on all adverts.
Oh, I think now.
You know that one? That's that song.
Yeah, they're pretty legit now.
I know, it's just that if I could get rid of that song, like, I mean they can stay, but that song,
just
get rid of that
piece of music.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't stand Igloo and Hartley. Remember those guys?
I'll send it.
They were awful. I kind of wouldn't mind the Vaccines to leave, just because the whole they're bringing back guitar music is such a farce. It's like, what? What are you talking about? Like,
back from where?
They're the saviors of guitar music, and then I listened to it and it was like, no, that's not the case. They're just the shitty Strokes, you know. So the drums, I don't like the drums. I could go on and on. Yeah, I'm trying to think of one band though that really infuriate me. Can't think.
There'd probably be too many to this. Really.
Yeah, we've spent the entire listing out.
I like this song.
Maybe Guns N' Roses, just to stop what's become
controversial. Is it more Guns N' Roses or Axl Rose and Friends?
Axl Rose, just to kind of stop what is happening now.
Yeah,
So
just to
they're-
put them out of misery.
Yeah.
We could have cut them off at one point.
Yeah.
Just like, you're not
Yeah.
allowed to do it anymore. Alright, fine.
Yeah,
then
that's
save-
right. Cut him off
Save the world.
Okay.
just after his prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save.
After we start deciding to get Quantum Bros.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you got Sporting Acts tonight, Your Animals and Bronze. What are your thoughts on them? You've played a few gigs with them now so far, so have any thoughts on them so far?
Yeah, great ones.
Yeah, Bronte, fucking killer.
Yeah.
Like, have you guys seen Bronte before?
Yeah,
It's just like mental.
They're just about to go and do like a headline tour, and they're doing like their whole album. It's just like 8 songs, like in its entirety from start to finish, with kind of no gaps. And I'd love to see that. So unfortunately, on this tour they're on first, so they can only do a few songs. But
Yeah, they've got like the guitar player's got like 3 loop pedals, and it's all kind of just loop bass and big beats, and then it'll just go into this massive kind of metal breakdown. It's so mighty.
and then like to the sweetest kind of like intricate kind of tuneful breaks, and then back into this.
Yeah, like
Oh,
if
Lord.
Thor was the frontman of a band. That's what Bronte would say. Like, and New Animals are really cool. They're really like good time indie pop kind of thing. It's really cool. So, and they're all brilliant people, which is wonderful.
Any good stories from them on tour?
Not so far. We kind of been having to drive,
Yeah.
like after each show, like to the next kind of place. So yeah, the tour's been quite subdued, I guess, for hangouts.
Yeah, kind of like ships in the night, sort of say, hey, alright, then go.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
old for our time because we've been on tour for about 2.5 months now. So we're jaded and bitter.
Yes. Okay. Obviously been on Kerrang recently, getting quite a lot of exposure on there. Have you had many starstruck moments yet? And then when you were there with someone and you thought, Jesus Christ, that's...
Brand new?
Yeah, brand
That
new.
was
That was,
pretty
yeah,
mental.
we met brand new at their Wembley show. That was pretty kind of, I don't know, because they're quite, I don't know, there's a lot of kind of mystery behind their band. So actually getting to be in their dressing room and saying, hey. I was pretty starstruck with Mike, to be honest with you, the
Yeah.
producer.
Yeah.
Like, because we've admired his work for so long, and you kind of never read articles with him or hear from him. And, yeah, so I was pretty nervous when I met Mike.
But then after a while, you know, we were eating like in his house with his family, most meals, and it just kind of felt like we were mates. We just
So it
get
was
to
that
know.
way.
Yeah.
And Beck from Glassjaw, we met Glassjaw.
Yeah,
as
he
well.
took us out for pizza. We did a like a
Did
session.
you pay for it?
Yes, he did. Yeah,
Excellent.
we did a video session with him, and then like he took us out for pizza and just kind of chatted. It was great.
Yeah,
That was
he was
pretty-
awesome.
Yeah.
I was trying to think recently about who I would be totally kind of starstruck with, like completely. I think I'd probably freeze if I met Bruce Springsteen. Like literally break down and cry. I think I'd be pretty nervous around Lemmy as well.
I think everyone's nervous around that.
Yeah, I just watched that documentary.
Yeah.
Watched that documentary Lemmy, and I'd be pretty terrified. And Josh Homme.
Yeah,
As
it'd be
well.
quite.
Apparently he's just like 6'7" and pure man.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your personal musical guilty pleasures? The song you like, you know you shouldn't like.
I love a song called "You Make My Dreams Come True" by Hall and Oates. You ever heard that song?
I don't know that one, but I know all of those.
It's the guiltiest of pleasures. You can't really admit that to anyone.
Is it pure 80s cheese?
Ultimate happy 80s, and like quite a lot of Tears for Fears back catalogue. So let's just keep that under our hat.
Guilty pleasure. I quite like Hero by Enrique Iglesias, but then
That is
I'm
a
not that ashamed of it because it's one of those songs that's like that's incredible. Like in terms of pop writing, it's like enhancing bop.
Did you get that CD when it came out?
I did.
I did.
I had it on tape.
I saw him on the Big Breakfast. And then I bought a CD.
Big Breakfast song.
That was a long time ago.
It was. Is this from the AJ now?
Yeah.